times by them. And I'm happy to say that they'll be returning to be with us in July. The first week of July, our friends from the Tibetan monk community will be joining us again that entire week here at NCC to create a sand mandala and hopefully to bless our prayer wheel yet again. So with that in mind, I'm going to spin this wheel. Let's create this moment. Let's create this moment of great prayer and being together. I invite you to breathe with me in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And let's just take this moment of silence to say a prayer to ourselves, and then a prayer for our nation, for our community, for this world, for all the communities impacted with pain and suffering and hurt, and then, of course, a prayer for ourselves, for strength, for courage, for wisdom, for those that we've loved and love, for those we've lost, and those we hold in our hearts. May the spirit of love hold us all, no matter where we are on this journey. Let's continue to hold this moment of silence, okay? And while you do that, I'm going to light a candle. The weekend going so far? How's your weekend going so far? How's your weekend going so far? Thank you, Susan. Thank you. I knew I had one. So what's good about it? Give me something. What's working? What's good about it? Tell me. You woke up this morning. I like that. Good one. What else? What else? What else? Smile on your face. Yes, me too. What else? What else? What else? Feeling at home again. Oh, I like that. And say why. What? Yes, I understand that. Well, I'm happy to have you back. It's good to see you, love. And good trip?
Yeah, the kids were great.
Okay, great. I'm so happy to hear that. Welcome home. Happy to see you. What else? What else? What else? Family. Yes, welcome family. Welcome family. Hi, Peggy. Hello, love. What else? What else? What else? What else?
Having a family picnic at a park.
Oh, where at? Where? Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay. Well, I'm going to feed you here, so I hope you know that.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to feed you here, I promise. What else? What else? What else? What else? We're here. And with that in mind, I'm going to invite you to stand as you are able. I want to sing I Am Alive with the Spirit of Love. Let's sing it. Let's sing it. Let's sing it. I am alive with...
Well, let's do it in this key. I am alive with the Spirit of love. 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 I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of love. It's kind of low, huh? I am alive with the spirit of love. 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 I am alive, y'all. Alive with the spirit of love. Now ask the person next to you, are you alive with the spirit of love? Are you alive with the spirit of love? Are you alive, y'all? Alive with the spirit of love. Now answer them, I am alive. I am alive with the spirit of love. Come on, work it. Now everybody, we are alive. We are alive with the spirit. Louder. Even louder. We are alive, y'all. Alive with the spirit of love. Check your pulse.
Y'all can be seated. You can be seated. You can be seated. All right. Okay. To get the mood even more settled for us with prayer and being alive with spirit, I want to welcome a friend of us. He's going to come and offer his gift through dance and creative blessing. Let's all have a hand clap for Bach. Y'all give him a hand. Bach, come on up. And you want to introduce him? Okay. All right. By the way, before she introduces him, can we say welcome back and good morning to Jacque Nunez, everybody? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So we're going to wait on the flute later. We're going to let him dance. So Brian is an adopted nephew from a different tribe, and he's going to play the drum for Bach. We're going to see the dancer early on because he's going off to Germany.
All right.
And I mean, I praise God for that, because maybe 25 or 30 years ago, we were still invisible. Lots of people didn't care much about our history, and now it's coming up. It's like being, unearthed, and people are seeing the beauty of who we are. And so he's off to Germany. I had no idea. And so Brian, I want you to get the drum. You brought it up here, and Brian does exactly what I do. He travels to schools. He does talking circles. If you're ever interested in a Native American talking circle, this is the brother. This is the one. He brings healing to our nation. And he's going to sing this song, which will bring, Bach in. Now, he's doing the grass dance. The grass dance is one of the types of dances across this nation that was the first dance in all of our gatherings, our ceremonies. Why? Because the grass dance, he would stomp down the grasses to create the arena so everybody could dance. And so his position was very important. The drum reminds us of actually the womb of the mother. The drum represents the heartbeat of Mother Earth and Mother. And so, I don't know, can you do that with the, yes, I think, okay, perfect. So let's have this, and you're going to see this, and then he's going to leave, and I'm going to come back later and talk about our people and talk about the beauty of diversity. Does that sound good? Yes, okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is so good to have Jacque Nunez back, everybody. I'm going to properly introduce her later on. I'll have a much better introduction for her soon. But I am so glad she's back, and it's an honor to have her in our presence yet one more time. With all of her friends and family, all the spirits and ancestors, we are one. We are gathered as one community of love this morning here at NCC. Okay, just got a couple of announcements. The first is I'm glad that the game night went great on Thursday night. Who was here for game night on Thursday night? Yeah. I heard it was amazing. I heard it was awesome. I was called away to meet with a donor, so I wasn't able to be here. But I heard it was fantastic. I heard it was a great turnout, right, Mike? And a lot of fun. And so we'll do it again. Well, we have to do it again because I want to be in one. So we will do it again because I want to be here. So we will do game night again. I'm glad it was great. I'm glad it was successful. Who's looking forward to the next game night here at NCC? All right. We'll do it. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, couple of announcements. I want us all to be aware that we are about to prepare for an incredible Sunday and an incredible summer, an incredible experience here at NCC, what I'm calling a kind of hope-filled experiment over the summertime. And so it's important. And so before I invite our board members to come, I just want to share with you for just a moment about why this summer experience means so very much to me. Because I've been with NCC for about 8 years now, and we have been on a journey of sort of seeing ourselves to kind of tell a story that's already happening all around us, this kind of very wide and very diverse, very courageous, very bold spirituality that's already emerging here and already across our land. And so we are moving to a place where we are more openly embracing that spirituality. See, keep in mind, NCC has been a place of welcome and belonging and connection and home for so very long, for many decades. But that home, that connection, that belonging has been branded. Somebody say branded. Somebody say branded. Okay, say it again, branded. And that branding is called Christianity. Now, I'm not opposed to Christianity. I'm not arguing with Christianity. I'm not destroying Christianity. I'm simply offering that the best of NCC is when we are a hyper-focused spiritual community. And so because of that, we are moving away from the brand and we are embracing our humanity. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? Okay, did you hear what I just said? We're moving away from the brand and we are embracing our humanity. Now, that desire to do that, to move away from the brand and to embrace the humanity, is calling us to try some experiments, to see what works, to see what doesn't work, to see what we can learn, right, Jackie? To see what we can build upon, to see what needs to stop so that we can try some other things. So with that in mind, I am embarking on a summer sabbatical, And that sabbatical has been funded by the Lilly Endowment. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? What's even more amazing is that that same Lilly Endowment that's giving me funds to do my summer leave, they are also giving us funds so we can do some new stuff here at NCC. I said they're giving you money too. Okay, all right. So with that in mind, we are trying a hope-filled experiment that I hope will set a foundation for our spiritual center that we are creating. I hope that it will give us a lot of good information and a lot of good knowledge about the spiritual center that we are creating for the future. In other words, we're going to start acting like spiritual center this summer, and we got some money to use it for. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that awesome?
So spiritual.
All right, okay. So before I bring on your board members, I just want to offer a few quick announcements for you to be aware of. Cyrus, next slide. Someone asked me, what is your biggest excitement about what's coming over the summertime? What's the one thing that you want this congregation, your community, to embrace as we prepare to move into this new thing? And you know, I thought about that for a minute, and it became so very clear to me. Because while I am going to be on my leave, resting and restoring and rejuvenating, I would love for our own community. Somebody say community. Somebody say community. I would love for our community to also to begin to embrace this idea of rest and renewal and rejuvenation, and also a kind of variety, a kind of mixing, a rhythm that gives you different experiences throughout the weeks and the months. In other words, I'm taking the best of what I'm going to be doing over the summer, my rest, my adventures, my joyfulness, my awe, my wonder, my variety, and I want to kind of infuse that with what you're going to be doing over the summer while I'm gone. And so there are some key things you have to keep in mind. We're moving to 2 Sundays a month starting June 8th, and we're going to start at 11 a.m. on those Sundays. And we're doing that for 2 reasons. One, we're starting to create this variety of events that will happen throughout the weeks and the months. And so by having less Sundays that we meet, I hope that gives you more of an invitation, more time to try some of this other stuff that we're going to share with you in a moment. So we're going to start with 2 Sundays a month, starting June 8th, 11 a.m. start time. And then on the Sundays when we're not here, when we're not meeting, I hope that you'll be doing the same thing I'm doing on my leave. I'll be resting. I'll be rejuvenating. I'll be connecting with friends and family and colleagues and loved ones, pastime connections. I'll be doing all of that over the summer. I invite you to do the same on those same Sundays when we're not here. And even more than that, I hope that you'll take advantage of the weekly stuff. Somebody say weekly stuff. Weekly stuff that we're going to propose for you right now in the next few minutes. So come on up, Sue Cross. Come on up, Robbie Robinson. Come on up, Kate Hennessy. Let's talk a little bit about all the cool stuff that we have coming up over the summer. Now, all of this is in addition to those 2 Sundays. So if you really think about it, I'm not taking anything away. I'm just adding some variety to your weeks and your months. That's what I'm doing. And when you really think about it, your spiritual center at its best will do the very same thing. Okay, so next slide. All right. Today we have the gift of Jacque Nunez, who's an incredible, accomplished storyteller and Native American basket weaver. She's going to round out our May month, and then we will look forward to the month of June. Sue Cross, would you start us with the month of June, please?
Hello. Before I start, we usually at the last Sunday of the month acknowledge the birthdays for that month. So I'm going to say the May birthdays that I know of, and that's Friends of the Church Vaughn Burke and Douglas Miller, yep, and my granddaughter, Morgan Cross. Are there any other May birthdays that I was not aware of? Okay, yes? No. Marge. Where's Marge? Oh, I am so sorry you're not on our list.
You'll be on the list from now on.
Okay, happy birthday, Marge.
All right, let's talk
All
about
right,
June.
cool. All right, here's June coming up. Common Ground is going to host a conversation about hosting difficult conversations. Sounds like something I need to get involved in. Then our good friend Pam Wicks is going to give us some kirtan chanting. This is going to be great. We're going to have a Juneteenth Jubilee with Gospel Fusion Trust One. And I've never heard this band, but I bet you they're pretty good.
They are amazing.
Then we're going to have an art workshop that everybody can just get their hands full of paint and whatever. It's called Funky Fun Art, Expressions of the Heart. So I hope you'll all just let everything else be abandoned and just get yourself into your artistic creation. No experience necessary. We're also hosting an all-day retreat called Soul Support. Now, you're not going to have to memorize all this, folks.
No.
We're going to give you a calendar.
Yep.
We're just giving you a preview now.
All right, July. Yeah. What's up in July?
July, the theme is the answer to Earth's questions. And we will have a sand mandala with the monks. Then we're going to have bubbles and tango, science and art at play. All-day retreat with drums. And there's an overnight option to that. It's going to be up at Rancho Palos Verdes. Then we're going to have a sound bath for Mother Earth. And then planting seeds, environmental activism, and you.
Good stuff. All right, August.
Okay, in August, the theme for the month of August is Living Our Stories. Vince DeMauro Band, and it's an outstanding band. Sue can tell you a lot more about it. It's the theme will be for your love concert, and the next one is our generational wisdom, dialogues in love. We are the children of the world, a special presentation with local vendors. That should be lots of fun. Astral travel, new chapters of the story, light yoga, tea, and sound bath. We've got lots of fun stuff planned.
And then September.
Do I get September too?
You want to do September too?
I don't know where it is. Where is it?
Turn it over. Keep turning. There it is.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. September. Oh, this one's all me. Playful wonders. The joy of connection, awe and wonder, laugh and healing, keratin chanting experience, all-day retreat, Jesus, Buddha, walk into a bar. That should be really interesting.
That's going to be fun. All right. Can we just do something real quickly? Let's give them a hand, y'all. Let's give them a hand. Because they really work together to create something that I hope we all can be proud of. It's something that you can really accelerate and really celebrate also, to really get connected with, to rejuvenate. And so I'm really excited. As Sue said, we are not going to ask you to remember anything you heard today. We are going to give you a calendar that's going to have all of this laid out for you, so you can put it on your dinner table, your coffee cups, whatever you need. You'll have a calendar so you can look at this and know exactly what's coming up over the summer. But we thought we would just give you a flavor of what's to come. How do you feel? Are you excited? You excited? You excited? Yep. Let's have one more hand for your board members. Board members. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And we're still adding some stuff. So what you saw is just the current iteration. We've got some stuff that we're going to be adding over the next week or so there's more to come. I talked to Susan Huff about something she wants to do later in August. I'll be talking to her about that. We've got some stuff that we're going to do with Roxanna Ward over the summer around music and joy. We even got some Monday night meditation that we'll be scheduling. And I'm also in contact with Billy Freed from the radio station about some ecstatic dance that we'll try to schedule this summer as well. So there is a lot on the way. It sounds like a spiritual center, y'all. It sounds like a spiritual center. Are you excited? You excited? You excited?
Hey, just to let you know, I'm going back to Iceland in August. You should come with me. Oh, wait, it's sold out. Sorry.
I'm coming with you, Roxanna. I'm coming with you. But I'm so excited because these are the beginnings of your spiritual center. This is what it looks like when we begin to do the things that are untethered from religion, to really offer ourselves the invitation to live into our humanity with all of its courage, all of its strength, and all of its wisdom, keeping the goodness of what's made NCC so great over the decades and really propelling it forward for a new time, for a new generation, for what is to come. I am so excited about the summer because while I'm away, you're going to be here doing all this cool stuff. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about that. All right. Someone asked me this morning, they said, Pastor, when exactly are you leaving? And I said, that's a good question. Here's the deal. I'm here for another month, okay? So I'll be with you through the month of June, okay? And then I'm gone at the beginning of July. So the months of July, August, September, I'll be away for a much needed, much awaited break. But I am so glad that while I'm gone, you will be here and you will be taken care of to the fullest. And I can't wait to come back and hear about all the good stuff that you do, all the fun that you have, all the great miracles that you experience, all the awe and wonder that comes into your lives. The summer at NCC is going to be amazing. And I can't wait to come back and hear all about it. Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. All right. I have a song that I want to sing with you. It's y'all probably know this one, so it really needs no introduction. But before we sing it, I would, if she will allow me, to say to my friend Roxanna and to all of us who are sitting here this morning and really sitting with the truth of loss in whatever form. I want to sing. I want to be in this moment. I want to experience this time with my friend Roxanna in memory of her buddy, my buddy, all of us together. Let's sing this song. Roxanna, I'm singing this for Buddy this morning with you.
She's got the whole world
In her hands.
No words? I want to stop a second. Are there any words up there for this? There are? Oh, I'm just going to make it up then. Since Buddy was my beloved dog of 14 years, and I feel like he's my spirit guide now, my buddy, let's sing He's Got the Whole World about Buddy. He's got the whole world. He's got the whole world. He's got the whole world. He's got the sun and the moon. He's got the sun. He's got the sun and the moon. He's got the wind and the rain. He's got the wind. He's got the little bitty baby. He's got the little bitty baby. He's got you and me. You and me, sister. He's got you and me. He's got the whole world in his.
Happy Sunday.
You too,
We're here. Yep. All right, isn't this a great thing? So before I start, I hope Pastor Rod doesn't mind. There's a book. We breathe here a lot, like we did today. And I know I don't need the mic, but I still use it. The book, The Path of Breath. And this book is written, he has 2 master's degrees. He's an environmental and political activist of 40 years. And be honest with you, I haven't read it yet, but I know him very well. I grew up with him. And I'm looking forward to experiencing that. So The Path of Breath by Richard Wagman. Come and see me later if you'd like to know more about it. So here we go. This is a reading by Maya Angelou. You've been paid for, each of you. Black, white, brown, yellow, red, whatever pigment you use to describe yourselves has been paid for. But for the sacrifices made by some of your ancestors, you would not be here. They have paid for you. So when you enter a challenging situation, bring them on the stage with you. Let their distant voices add timbre and strength to your words. For it is your job to pay for those who are yet to come.
So, with that in mind, and with the strength of Maya's words in our hearts, I am so pleased that I get to welcome back our friend Jacque Nunez to be with us today. And for those who may remember, Jacque was with us about 2 some odd years ago when we were just celebrating our 80th anniversary here at NCC. And she was with us to help us to mark that story and to propel us into the future that we're enjoying now. And I really wanted to have her back because she has such an incredible story and a wonderful heart and a great spirit, not just for the work of love in our community, but here and across so many communities. She has experiences traveling and speaking and delivering her story to schools and communities and nonprofits, corporations, so many different varieties of communities to hear and experience her. And I'm just so glad that she's back with us today. She's been recognized by her own tribe with many awards. She's been recognized by PBS, various foundations. Even the folks in San Juan Capistrano, where she has so many roots and connections, they've also honored and recognized her work over the years, just for being a powerful leader, a powerful storyteller, a healer, an incredible voice, a wonderful heart. And so I'm really glad that we get to have her back this morning. Can we all put our hands together and welcome our friend to be with us here this morning at NCC?
I don't know. He was trying. There, I think we're on. Perfect. Well, I'm going to play a song that's really one of our old ancient songs. It's a song that was buried. In fact, much of our culture has been buried. And about maybe 40 years ago, we began to unearth what was so beautiful for thousands of years. And the clapper stick is one of our indigenous instruments. We really didn't play the drum, not in this area. This is our indigenous area, Laguna Beach and all of Orange County. We use clapper sticks. We use rattles. We use flutes and whistles that provided a music. And this particular song was taken from some wax cylinders that were in the Smithsonian Institute. And we had a fundraiser because it was very expensive to try to reclaim those. And then this particular song was there. So I'm going to sing it for you. Nonka, nonka, noko we, yemai mo, amokam hole we, taka we. Nonka, nonka, noko we, yema mo, moka mole, taka wem, taka wem. Not many of us knew. Can I get a bottle of water? Not many of us knew our language. And so there was one particular tribe that began to bring back what we call bird singing. The language was never lost. It was in, it's called Kauai, and these songs were brought back maybe, I want to say like 30 some years ago. And the gentleman, Robert Levi, who was part of the Kauai Nation, when we had this song, we didn't know how to translate it. So we sang the song to him, and he said, I know what it is. It's that dust devil that whirls around. And when you sing that song, it takes all the negative energy that was there and pushes it out. And so when I heard that, I said, oh, wow, that's so beautiful. Then we began to learn our language. And it's been a slow process. We've started another language class 2 weeks ago. And our language sounds like this. Tuonna nakshina, tudida to yachemaha, nakepohiet, ekla oya, nokshun yo. And what that means is, Creator, bless this circle. Heal our hearts and give us strength. And when, in a little bit, when my nephew Brian comes up, I'm going to have him explain how, even though we are from different tribes, the history of our ancestors is the same. You know, we lived and flourished, it was beautiful, and then when the, manifest destiny came, so much was lost. So much was buried. There was such brutality, and there was a part of history that none of us can be proud of, but it's here. But when I come here today, and I see all of you and hear you, and I say, we are the heart of those that say we want to celebrate every nation. We want to celebrate the beauty of who we are. And one of the things that I brought today, it has 4 colors on it, and I'm going to put some of that in there, but these are the 4 colors that we call them. They're the sacred colors. So you see on there white and black and red and yellow, and when our people come together to pray in ceremonies, we never forget anybody. We pray for everyone, every nation. We sit and we pray, and we know that we all bring something to the circle of life. And my people were basket weavers, and we would gather our plants, and when we gathered our plants, we would pray before we took the plant. And we never took more than we needed. And we always gave back. One of the offerings that we give back is water. And so we would put the water on the plant before we took it. And then we would gather that, and there's a lot of preparation. This particular basket I'm doing right now is a very simple basket that we take to schools to teach the children about, our culture. And in my 30 years of traveling to schools, they've estimated that I have woven over 100,000 baskets. I can't even imagine that could be true. But my nephew, he said, no, Auntie, we figured it out. And I'm supposed to be retiring, but still things like this come up. And I say, of course, Pastor, I got to come to your church. But when I was basket weaving, I was at a school and I was looking at the basket. And as I was teaching the children, it was like Creator spoke to me. He really did, and he said, you are the basket. And so I kept teaching because I had 100 children in front of me. And when I got home, I told my husband, I said, I really feel like Creator was speaking to me today. He was telling me, I'm sorry if that got on you. He was telling me that I am the basket. It's like I am the basket. And I go, I don't understand. And he said, just pray about it. I said, he'll make it clear. And then later on, I was at a conference, and there was a gentleman that they said considered a prophet. And he came to me and he said, Jackie, I want to pray for you. And as he prayed for me, he said, I see you going all over the world. You are doing something. He just kept praying and praying. He says, I see something in your hand, and I see you close to water. And I said, could it be basket weaving? And he said, yes. He goes, I see you by the water, by the plants. This particular basket has gone all over. I personally didn't go all over, but it's been all over, as I also got a message that in being like the basket, we are like, this is a belly button. We call this the belly button, the heart and the beginning of the basket. It's like where life begins. And when you understand that there is a creator, that's the belly button. When you understand that you are part of the community and that belly button represents your love for people and God, creator, that's the belly button. And all of these spokes, those are every day. And this is the weaver. This is your prayer life, however you pray. And so some days there's overs and some days there's unders. Mothers out there, I mean, I'm a grandmother now, but when I was raising my kids, an under would be getting all my kids ready, and then my little one saying, I don't know where my shoes are, Mommy. And then I'm looking all over. We're going to be late for school. Those are the only shoes that fit him now. Everybody's hunting around. I get out the door, and I have a flat tire. It's just like, oh, what? That's an under. An under can also be an auntie that calls you and says, I've been diagnosed with third-stage cancer. What is amazing about this basket and the analogy of this basket is that you hold on to this prayer life and you keep weaving no matter what comes your way. Now, an over is something very, exciting and wonderful, getting to go for 3 months and have your church be all in place and you get to rejuvenate. I mean, that is an over. And an over for you are the people that love you and say, don't worry, he's going to be gone, but we're all going to learn and have fun. That's an over. But, every day in life there's an over and under. And if you hold on to that prayer life that you know of, and it's not like once in a while. I always say that a prayer life is, every moment. I mean, we walk out this door and something could happen that we need to really connect with the Creator. And so you keep weaving over and under. And by the time that you're finished, you have a vessel of service. This basket is a vessel. It holds things. And if it's your life is holding all the experiences that you had as a person. My first marriage and divorce, abuse, all that is in my basket. My second marriage with my husband when he came with 3 other wives. I was the 4th wife. And my mother said, what in the world are you thinking? And I said, but I love him. We got married, and we've been married 42 years. And I became friends with his ex-wives. And all of his children that he came, they call me Grandma Jackie. That's the greatest joy of my life. We have 17 grandchildren. Why? Because I held on to my basket weaving. I said, God brought me my husband, and he brought me some ex-wives too. And I had to deal with them. But you know what? It was a marvelous journey of sometimes pain, sometimes laughter, sometimes anger a little, not on my side too much. I was the prayer warrior. But, to know that God could take such a dysfunctional family and bring us together to be able to still be a family was an amazing journey. I had a friend who was a psychologist, and she said, Jackie, that percentage of your marriage lasting is like 0.001. Usually it just doesn't happen. Oh gosh, I tried to turn that off. Will you take my phone and turn that off? Oh geez, I thought I turned it off. I'm sorry, you could take it outside. I really did. I said, well, if the president can answer a telephone, right, didn't he have to turn his telephone off? So I just want to let you know that as my journey of life began with my husband, and my husband was from another nation. He was Native American. We got married by a spiritual leader who walked the nation in 1970 across this nation, and he made it to the White House. And there was the first kind of sit-in that ever happened in this nation to say, we are not invisible. We are a people, and we have concerns, and we have hurts, and we have things that have been deprived from our people. And his name was Ernie Longwalker. He was given that name. And Ernie was the one that married my husband and I. And we went through traditional sweats, and we prayed, and we're still married. And I tell my husband, you know, the powerful prayers. When we got married, he told me, in the Indian way, you pray for days. You fast. And we made little teeny prayer pouches. And where the number 414 came from, but that's how many we had to make. They look similar to this. And we made 414 as we sat around in a circle, and every prayer had a prayer for someone. Like you said, pray for someone and then pray for yourself. So in that 414, we prayed for another person and another person and another person. And those prayers are out in the universe that came back to us, that gave us strength when we were struggling, that gave us strength when I thought, it's just not going to work. And so prayer is powerful. And I do just, you know, this is a different church. It's definitely a church that tries to encompass every person's heart and how they pray, and it doesn't have to be a certain way, but just to pray. And I was raised a Catholic. You know, I was raised a Catholic, and then I became, you know, a born-again Christian, and that's where my heart is. But my heart also is for people. And I think love supersedes every religion. I really do. Love never fails. Love is what kept me being a teacher when the people just thought I was a little bit of an oddball. Nobody works until 6 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock at night and comes back cheerful. I mean, the other teachers were mad at me for being cheerful. I go, what is going on? You know, but it didn't make sense to me. But I loved my job as a teacher. And I remember one of my students, little Thomas. He was as tall as I was, and I was teaching first grade. He wore his pants up to here. He had one missing tooth and a runny nose that always was there. And when I started my classroom, he knocked on the door, and it was 15 minutes before we started. He said, Mrs. Nunez, is there anything that maybe I could do for you? He didn't have any friends. It seemed like none of the children wanted to play with him. I said, Thomas, oh, you're an answer to prayer. Get in here. And I had little jobs for him. He was feeding the little frog. He was erasing the board. He was passing things out. And, you know, by the end of that year, he learned how to use a tissue. He wore his pants in a little bit more kind of cool way. And the children seemed to like him because he liked himself. And when we are encouragers in the world, whether we are native or non-native, I will tell you this, that's what needs to change in our world. We need to respect ourselves, however God made us, and then to respect our neighbor. And when I go to schools and I tell children, go home, talk to your children, talk to your parents, tell them that Miss Jacque talked about all kinds of things from her tribe. She picked up a deer toenail rattle. I never seen the deer toenail rattle before. And she told me not to laugh. She told me to put my finger here and say, that's different. And that deserves respect and understanding. Mom, I want to know about our family. I want to know who we are. Who are our ancestors? What did they bring to the world? You see, we all have a purpose. And of course, mine was being a storyteller. And all of us have a purpose. This basket can hold anything you want it to hold. It can hold anger if you want to carry it. It's a pretty heavy thing to carry. Or resentment. So many things. But if you carry it with love and forgiveness, it becomes a very powerful little vessel. And this one is for you to have, and maybe we'll put some affirmations in there. But basket weaving is just one of the things that my ancestors did. We gathered the plants, we were basket weavers, and we also were hunters and gatherers. And my people ate lots of things that were here in Laguna Beach, everything from the ocean. And we never took more than we needed, just for that day. And then we would go back again. And when we went, we prayed. We were very prayerful. I told my husband, we were like holy rollers. You know, we prayed in the morning, you know, in the evening. And I think all day long, because we knew the power of gratefulness. To be grateful for where we stood. We didn't know that there was anything else but the beauty of Laguna Beach. To wake up and see the ocean and see the beautiful weather. We didn't know what it was like in Illinois, but we knew what it was like with here. And so our people, we were the type of people that we did visit up to the north where the Tongva was, to the south where the Luceño were, and we sang songs and we did have our dances. And one of the things that we did play was the flute, and I'm going to bring Brian up in just a moment. We were gatherers, and we gathered the acorn, and the acorn was our main staple. But we ate everything that was here, including the rabbit, the deer, the turtle, and one of our instruments was this, the rattle. So Brian is here, and he and I have met, but when I met him, how many have you ever met someone and you say, that person is my relative? Our hearts connect, that's it. You were my brother from the moment I met you. And that's the way it was with Brian, and I so respect him. And I wanted to give him actually a moment to share a little bit what he does in our community, because whether you're white, black, Asian, Native, the heart is the heart. And pain in the heart transcends all color. And Brian, I want you to come up, sweetheart, and I want you to tell them a little bit about your tribe, your nation, how you were brought to be a healer in the community. Then he's going to play the flute. Now, the flute is a most beautiful instrument of my ancestors and also his. In fact, there are 572 tribes across the nation, and we all had a form of the flute. The flute could not only calm the spirit, not only calm anger, not only bring us into this beautiful place, but it was also used to woo the heart of a woman. And so sometimes when you were there and you played the flute and that woman was attracted to you, that was the first kind of courting that you would do. So before you begin, I want you to tell them, your tribe, the things that, why you were called to do what you're doing today, because he is all over in Indian country and beyond doing some wonderful things. So Brian.
Check. Oh, let's give it up for Miss Jacque Nunez, Auntie Jacque, right here for her gift of storytelling, and she's been doing this a really long time. I heard about her when I first came back to California in 2019, and I was like, oh, because I love stories. I grew up in a culture, a family of storytellers, and all kinds of stories. So when I met Jacque, and we now call her Auntie Jacque, in the work she was doing before COVID, this is before COVID, and then kind of how she transitioned during COVID was kind of inspiring, because I was trying to figure out how to transition too in the work that I was doing. So I just want to introduce myself and say, Noah, Hidui Duda, Hidura Chixtahu, Dutta Brian Frijo, White Eagle family, Skeety, Chawi, Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma. That's the Wolf and the Warrior Society and the leaders of the Pawnee Nation. Nukazogi Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. That's the Bear Clan of the Seminole people. My dad is Pawnee, my mom is Seminole. I grew up in a place called Tornado Alley. You guys seen it on the Weather Channel. That was my home in South Oklahoma City, where all the tornadoes and storms come through. So I had a connection from an early age to the four powers that I learned about later on in life, the four powers of the wind, the clouds, the lightning, and the thunder. And so having a connection to that, growing up, you always paid attention. You could tell when the storm's coming, which direction. You always pay attention to the wind and all those things around you, because we wanted to, if we were going to go play basketball outside or we were going to travel, we had to pay attention to that stuff. So I'm really thankful, for that. Pay attention to the Creator and all of those elements that the Creator brings here down in this earth, that we pay attention, we're aware, we have aware of our environment, of our home, of our community. So I'm just glad to be here. I work in residential and outpatient recovery treatment centers. I call it healing journey. Some people say recovery. I say healing. I work in a couple nonprofits that work in the native and non-native community in Orange County and Los Angeles. One's called Sacred Path Indigenous Wellness Center. And then I work with a lot of schools and tribes and here in California and then national. So I'm glad to be here. I always loved being able to share the flute, like Auntie Jacque was talking about. These instruments that we have, the drum that I had earlier. I'm a part of Buffalo Society. That's a buffalo hide drum. And I'm a drum maker. I teach people how to make drums. I do workshops and things like that. I do talking circles. I do some healing ceremonies because I was passed on some healing traditions and ceremonies in my family from my grandpas and uncles and grandmas. And it's not something that I wanted, like, oh, I want to do that. It was like, hey, you learn this. I'm going to teach you this. I'm going to show you something. And I was like, okay. I just listened, paid attention, paid respect, because that's what we were taught, and have respect for our elders. And so I thought, I'm going to use this for myself. So I used it for myself, and I found what worked for me, what helped me in my journey. And then I was able to turn around and share that with some people, and that's what I do now. So I'm really thankful to be able to help people in the community, help people find their way back, find their way back to the Creator, to higher power, maybe back to their purpose, their journey in life. And so that's what I do now. I dance, I sing, a little bit of everything, like Auntie Jacque was sharing. So with this flute right here, one of our instruments, they say there's a healing in this. There's healing in this piece of wood here called ruckus. And there's a whole story that goes along with this. How it first came from an old branch of a tree, and the wind was blowing through that branch, making that sound. And people were looking around. They heard a really beautiful sound, calm, a peaceful, soothing sound. And they were looking around, and they saw that branch up there from that tree, and somebody took it down and started blowing into that and created that sound. And that air comes from us, from our body, from our heart, from our spirit, and creates that song, creates that music. I also want to give it up to, where's Roxanne? Let's give it up for Miss Roxanne.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a musician and producer and make music. I'm doing making some music right now, and hearing her play the piano, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, whoa. That was awesome, Roxanne. It's inspiring, when I hear, something that makes me feel good. And Pastor Rodrick, opening this sanctuary, for people to come and share, different ways of healing, different ways of finding some peace and wellness and healing in our life. And so that's what I wanted to share today with this flute. So first thing, I'm just going to warm it up. This is kind of how we warm these flutes up. You kind of play it and you get it warmed up a little bit. And then I'll play a song like she said. At one time, they used this to court a woman. If they saw a woman that thought was, beautiful or attractive or wanted to get to know, they'd play a song. But I'm not going to do that today. I like to share that to little kids, to the kids in the schools. I tell them that, and then I'll say, well, I'm going to play one for all you little guys, for all you young people. And that these songs, they make us feel good, might lift our spirit up. Maybe we come in here to this sanctuary today, and then we go back out, feeling a little bit better from these stories and these teachings that we heard today, and the dancing. There's healing in that drum beat. They say that drum beat is the heartbeat of this journey, this life. Without that drum, that heartbeat stops. So we always want to keep that drum alive, keep it going. So I'm going to share this flute. I want everyone to think about maybe something you want to do today. What's something you want to do today for yourself? We're supposed to make time for ourselves. We're always doing stuff for somebody else. What can we do for ourselves? And that maybe something you can do today in your mind. Think about that and make you feel good. Or maybe something that you're thankful, you're grateful for. So that's what I'm going to play. I'm going to warm it up, then I'll play a song for everybody.
The mic towards it for you.
I think it'll be loud.
Oh, okay.
If it's loud enough, I don't think I need the mic. Good? Little reverb,
Please.
if you have some. This is for all those thoughts, those good thoughts, that good feeling you want today, maybe today, tomorrow, this week.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Like I said, this flute, has that good feeling. Might make you feel a little bit better. And the work that I'm doing right now, it's like Auntie Jackie said, it's those 4 colors in that medicine wheel. We call it a medicine wheel. It's the yellow, the red, the black, the white, and those 4 colors inside that medicine wheel is all of us. We're all connected inside that medicine wheel. Finding our way, in our life, in our journey, maybe to that higher power. Reconnecting, that's what I see a lot. People coming into recovery, they're reconnecting some things that got disconnected along the way. And then maybe through these ways, these teachings, these stories, they can reconnect and find that healing, find that good feeling, that good medicine. We call it good medicine in our culture and in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it. So, I think I have this mic, so I'm fine. What I wanted to share with you is a little poem that I had written in the middle of the night. I always tell people that I'm mentoring, if you cannot sleep, it's because the Creator and the ancestors are speaking to you. So get up and write. Get up and put a candle on and see what's happening. And I was called to go to a reservation where there was a lot of suicide. And they said, Jackie, we want you. And I grew up in Orange County. I didn't grow up on the reservation. And I said, oh, Creator, you open this door, but what can I do? I'm like a Pollyanna Indian that hasn't, experienced these things that they've experienced. And he said, be still, be still. And so in the middle of the night, this came to me, and I just would like to share it with you. Rise up with a grateful and thankful heart like our ancestors. Walk more like our ancestors. Gather like our ancestors. Play music like our ancestors. Eat what comes from Mother Earth like our ancestors. Read stories and tell stories to our children like our ancestors. And at the end of the night, get out of your dwelling, look up at the stars in the sky, just like our ancestors, and stand in awe and wonderment of creation. And know that your life was here for a purpose. It started thousands of years ago, and it's here today. You grab it today. You embrace it today, because everyone on this earth has a purpose, and every person makes a difference. As they go out into the world and share love, let it be the love that you have deep inside, and share it and live it and know that one person can make a difference, and let that one person be you. And in my language we say "Nokshunlovek ompalov." In a deep place in my heart, I thank you. And I took that poem and I went with 30 young people from this nation, and we broke it up into a reader's theater. And I found some that were animated and they wanted to speak, but I knew that everybody could say, like our ancestors. And so I had everyone a part of that. And it touched those children in a way that I can't explain, except for that Creator took good, powerful words and integrated it in a place where I felt like I didn't belong. But God showed me that your love is going to touch these children. After that, I went to another conference that I was asked to speak at. It was through UCI, and we were pounding yucca. Well, we pound yucca to make rope, to make string. And I had them pounding rope, and then I had them making a necklace. And I said, you make a necklace, but let this necklace be like your life necklace. And they were only 16 years old. I go, but to this point, who is important? And maybe that person's going to be the red bead. And maybe when you had a dark place, maybe that'll be a dark bead. But tell your story, because your life, even to now, is so important. And when we were done, I thought, well, maybe I'll ask a few people to come up and share about their necklace. And I said, would anybody like to share about their necklace? And this young boy raised his hand and he said, I do. And I said, okay, come on up. That young man took his necklace and he said, 3 months ago, I had a rifle in my mouth and my toe was on the trigger. And I wanted to take my life because I was standing in this urban place and my grandfather was on the reservation. And I didn't know how to combine these worlds. And I thought that my life was better if I took my own life. And just at the time when I had that deep breath and I was going to pull that trigger, my grandfather called and said, hey, grandson, how you doing? I've been missing you. And he said, Grandpa, hi. His toe got off the trigger, and he listened to the words of his grandfather that said, you know, I want you to come on out and see me, but I think I'm going to go out and visit you first, and then we'll go together. And his life was changed, because I believe Creator had a place in his life and touched that young man at just that right moment to save his life. And he, you know, he was standing up with great joy. And I thought people were going to tell me these little, you know, wonderful little stories, but to have that tremendous, hurtful story is just a reminder that we all hurt, and especially on the reservation when children have a foot in the world and in the reservation, it's very, very hard. And my own mother was sent to a boarding school, and when she was taken, and they took her from, I grew up in Capistrano at the Rio Sadobe, the oldest home in California, and when they took my mother, she looked at her hand and she said, if I wasn't so dark, they wouldn't have taken me. And she went to St. Boniface. And when she got there, I just say staff because it's very hard for me to say, you know, but they took her hair and they cut it. Her hair was straight, so she hated her hair. And she said, they all have lice, they're filthy. My mother heard that. So not only did she think she was ugly and dark, but she thought she was filthy. And my mother was raised with abuse, terrible abuse at St. Boniface. And here's the unfortunate thing. If you've ever heard historical trauma is when it is so impacted on that person that when they live their life, they pass it on to their children. And I was raised with abuse. I was raised with negativity. I was raised with my mother dragging me around my house with my hair, and that was normal to me. Until I went to somebody's house and I met a mother that said, oh, I made some cookies, and why don't you sit down and tell me about your day? I mean, I never experienced that before. My mother couldn't help that she was that type of mother that had so much hurt in her heart that she treated me and my siblings the same way. But God was good enough that he saw something good in me, and he put people in my path, like my teachers, like an auntie. And one teacher said, Jackie, are you going to go to college? And I said, oh, I never thought about that. Well, what did you want to be? I wanted to be a cashier at the market because I like to give out money and I like people, and I thought it'd be great. She said, I'll get you a job this summer. I want you to think about college. And because of the teacher that said, Jackie, you are gifted and talented and you can go to college, I believed her. And I graduated with honors from USC. I have won lots of awards. Not that I ever did anything in life because I wanted awards, but I found my passion and I did it. And words are powerful. And those words told me that I was someone that could do it. I'm somebody. And so as a teacher, I always use my words to build children up, to let them know that they were special. So I want to thank you so much for having me and my family. My husband isn't here today because my only sibling has now got dementia, and he's living with us. But here's the good news. He remembers everything in childhood. And so he and I, though we have our funny little stories about how mean our mother was, we have a lot of good stories too. And we get to sit there and I get to love him up. I feel like I'm a Care Bear, and I love waiting on him and taking care of him. And God has given me the honor to just be that person for my brother. We now live almost by Yosemite. I moved away from Orange County. We have 8 acres. It's sort of like Green Acres. I'm Jaja with all my nails and everything, and my husband is the, he loves to shoot his gun, and he loves the property, and I'm learning to love nature because I've been a teacher all my life, and we were never out in nature. We have 2 peacocks, and some people hate peacocks, but I love them. And we have 8 chickens, and we have fresh eggs, and God is good. And God has so many wonderful things waiting for all of you. I can't wait for the summer. I hope that maybe you'll do some basket weaving, and the kits that I have, you don't even need me. You can weave baskets without me. Maybe you might even use Brian in one of your wonderful things. I love this church. I mean, I love to hear the way that you speak to the people, the way that you're inclusive. And in my language, I would just like to say, Tuonna, Nakchina, Tutira, Toya Chemaha, Nakepohiet, Ekla Oya, Nokshun Yo. Thank you. Om Palov. Thank you, Sister.
Okay, so I want to say thank you for being with us today. I think one of my main takeaways from what you've said is the idea that the ancestors didn't give us something. They told us we are something. And that validation, that story, that experience of being seen and loved, acknowledged, right? Given that ability to propel forward. I'm thinking about my own ancestors, how they see me, and that gives me a sense of confidence for my life. And I just appreciate the reminder about that, to be reconnected with that part of myself and what we all have as human beings, to really honor the ancestors, by living a joyful and honorable and loving and caring and peaceful life. I really appreciate that so much. So one more time, Jacque New Year's, everybody.
Now, this afternoon, after my fry bread and Indian, we call them Indian tacos, and just very quickly, that came from a very negative situation, Indian fry bread, because when they separated us all on reservations, the government gave us, a can of lard, a can of meat, some lard meat, cheese, and flour. And we had to figure something out.
Yeah.
And we figured out the fry bread. Unfortunately, it also came with a lot of diabetes in our people.
Sure.
But today, for just one day, I think it's not going to hurt you.
Just for one day.
But,
just for one day.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
a deep fried, almost like a thick tortilla
Yeah.
with beans and cheese and salad, almost like a tostada.
Yeah.
And I hope that you enjoy it. And,
Oh, I know we will. I know we
just-
will.
so
One more
that's-
time, Jacque
that's it.
Nunez. One more time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, real quick. We are going to prepare to transition from here over into Bridge Hall so that we can have our lunch. But before we do, quickly, Kate, team, let's go ahead and get our offering real quickly for today's gathering. Everything that you put into the pot today is going to help us pay for Jacque's services and her presence here today. So thank you so much for everything that you put into the pot today, because it will definitely help us to bless and gift Jacque for all of her presence with us here this morning. And while that's happening, just want to say quickly that I really want us all to be aware. We are going to start our Rest Sundays next Sunday. So we will not be here next Sunday for gathering. We'll be at home, we'll be resting, we'll be traveling, we'll be at the beach, we'll be in the water, we'll be doing jumping jacks, whatever. Next Sunday, we won't be here. We'll be out doing our own things as a people. And I invite you to do that. Have fun, rest, sleep, play music, dance, party, whatever you want to do next Sunday. We won't be here, and I hope you have a good time. And then we'll be back on June the 8th. June the 8th. Somebody say June the 8th. June the 8th. One more time. And we're going to start at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. And we're going to feed you lunch on the 8th, so you don't want to miss that. All right? With that in mind, I'm going to invite us all to go into this moment of prayer. I'm going to bless our food. I'm going to bless our food, and then we'll sing our last song for the morning. Great Spirit, lover of love, thank you. Thank you for the gift of being in this community. Thank you for the food that we are about to eat. We ask that it continue to bless our bodies, to enliven our spirits, to give us the energy for the rest of this day that we need to be our best selves, to provide the courage and the strength and the wisdom that we need for the journey ahead. Thank you for those who prepared the food, the story that has been put into it, the lives and hearts that have been blessed by it. We now ask that we ourselves prepare to receive that gift, whatever source, whatever strength it has in store for us. May we open our hearts and our souls to receive of it. Thank you, Great Spirit, for this weekend. Thank you for being with us every step of the way. And thank you for this community in which we are so blessed to grow and to be. Thank you, Spirit. Amen. Amen. And may it be so. May it
Rod,
be so.
with
Yes.
that said, Jacque would like, go ahead.
Yes. Oh, okay. So we're gonna exit now. Let's stand up, and we're just gonna have our drummer to drum us out. So let's stand, and we'll start making our way out of here over into Bridge Hall. All right? Let's do it. Let's do it.